Guys, Pam here for Monday's live Q&A, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about how you can stand out in your marketplace, what your point of difference is, and how you can be truly unique. So I think this is an important topic because apart from being really good at what you do and delivering a first-class service every time, standing out in the marketplace and being unique is a really, really important strategy to help retain your clients. Because if a client comes to your business because she happens to like a certain aspect of what you do and the services you provide, then she's less likely to go wandering off to another salon, whether they're having a little special or, you know, whether she gets a little group on offer or something like that. So client retention is really what we're talking about here when it comes to being unique and offering something a little different, something that your clients can't get anywhere else. I've got a few notes here, so if I'm looking down, just bear with me because the memory is not as good as it used to be, okay? So how can you be unique? Well, I tell you, I can't answer that question for you because I don't know enough about your salon and I don't know enough about your competitors to know what makes you unique in your trading zone. Now, I want to clarify the importance of understanding your trading zone, because your trading zone is really about 5 kilometres, you know, around from your business. So if you looked on a map, measured out 5 kilometres and did a great big circle, then that's pretty much your trading zone. That's where probably 80% of your clients come from, whether they live in the area, whether they work in the area, but that's it. So if we're going to start looking at our competitors to see how we measure up, this is pretty much the area we want to look at. We don't want to get on the internet so much to, to look at every other spa in the whole of the city, because really that's not where your main client base is coming from. Yeah, look, it's great because you can get some great ideas from them. Sure, that's fantastic, but they're not actually your competitors. So trying to become unique and to stand out in the crowd, you want to really be able to stand out from your own competitors, because that's what's going to keep the clients in that area coming back to you. So we can look at things like general customer service, and I break that down into a few different sections, and that is how you greet your customers when they arrive, how you say goodbye to your customers when they leave, how you treat your customers during their visits, and finally how you interact with your customers in between visits. So you've got these 4 major categories that you can look at when you start trying to determine how to be unique in your trading zone. And listen, this is not rocket science, okay? This is really common sense, but one of the really important things when you instigate a new strategy in your business is that you are consistent. Consistency is key to successful business. And I often like to talk about how McDonald's, as an example, is so successful. And it's not because they make the best hamburgers in the world. I think we all know that. It's because no matter where you go in the world, when you step inside a McDonald's, you know exactly what you're going to get, because they consistently deliver the same thing no matter where you are. And clients love consistency. It makes them feel safe and secure. And so, you know, delivering these new strategies that you're going to start thinking about in your business, you have to ensure it's consistent and that everybody's doing the same thing. So I want you to get a sheet of paper, draw a line down the middle that way, a line across the middle that way, and have your 4 categories and head them up. Arrivals, departures, during visits, between visits. And then that's going to be your template for actually creating some great ideas, brainstorming some ideas to think about what can I do that's really different in my salon, and you know, this is your starting point for being unique. Okay, now before I get too much into that, one of the things that I am going to suggest to you is that the best way to know what your competitors are doing is to go out and have some services in their salons. Either go yourself or send some key staff members with a list of questions and basically get to know what are they doing really, really well. What are they doing that's not so great? Because that's important too, because that gives you a list of things to avoid doing in your salon that perhaps you've slipped into some bad habits. So when you're seeing it through the customer's perspective, it's a whole different kettle of fish. I did a little post earlier or a few days ago in the group about people getting called hun, dal, you know, lovey, sweetie, all of those things. I hate it, okay? As a client, I hate it because it says to me, you either couldn't be bothered remembering my name or I'm just one face in the crowd. Had some mixed reactions to that, but I've got to tell you, whether you like doing it or not doing it, whether it's something that feels good to you or whether it doesn't feel good to you, that's not what being in business is all about. Being in business is about making your clients happy. And if they don't particularly like it, then maybe you should consider stopping it, because that's not something that everybody enjoys being called. So now that I'm off that little tangent, so arrivals. So what can you do that's different in your salon? Well, once you go out and look around, you'll probably find there's a few different things that you can do that's different. One is simply having a time frame around greeting a new client when they walk in the door. So many times I walk into a salon and I look around and there's like, what am I supposed to do? So I just take a seat. Greeting people, knowing their names before they walk in the door, really, really important. And just, you know, chatting to them, particularly if they're new clients, welcoming them into your salon, walking them through the salon, introducing them to staff members. Of course, offering them a little welcome beverage, especially if you've asked them to come in early to complete paperwork. A nice cuppa goes a long way, and people really enjoy that, a cuppa or a cold drink or something like that. Not so keen on the idea of offering alcohol because that has kind of legal implications if the client maybe has a little bingle on the way home and she's been drinking champagne in your salon. So maybe not alcohol, but you know, a fresh juice, or, you know, be different. Have a special blend tea that is only available in your salon. You know, jot down ideas. How can I make the clients welcome into my salon really stand out? Make sure that the clients are getting greeted by name by as many staff members as possible. Make them feel really special. Wow, you know, like I've never been in this salon before and people are turning around smiling at me and saying, hi, welcome, you know, it's great to have you here. And that is really important. Putting a limit on the waiting time when clients come in. You know, these days time is just so valuable to your clients. And I had this discussion with a client of mine last year, and she thought she was actually doing her clients a favour by extending their services out to quite long periods of time. And she said, oh, you know, they love it. And I said, well, how do you know they love it? You know, have you ever asked them, do they love it? And then when I actually talked to somebody who I happen to know, who was a client of this particular salon, they said, you know, one thing I really hate about that salon is going for a 15-minute brow tidy, and you know, I'm out, it takes 45 minutes to get out because all she wants to do is talk. And so I thought, you know, lesson learned. You can't assume your clients have got lots of time. So running on time is really important. You know, getting your clients in. If they're booked in for a 10:30 service, get them in for a 10:30 service. Don't muck them around. Don't have them sitting there for 10:45. Worst case scenario, if you keep your clients waiting for something unexpected because something unexpected's occurred, make sure you let them know, look, you know, such and such has happened. It's put us back by about 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Are you okay with this? We'll try to get you finished on time if that's important to you. And, but tell people, let them know, keep them in the loop. Don't make them guess, because people really sit there and seethe when they don't know what's going on, and if they don't know why they've been kept waiting. So brainstorm with your staff about how you can make the arrival process to your salon, whether it's a new client or whether it's an existing client, because existing clients are actually more valuable to your business than new clients. You know this because I've told you before. But make sure that you're doing something that makes your arrival process stand out from everybody else's in the area. So the next thing we've got to look at is during the visits. So what can you do during the visit? So what I'm going to suggest to you is that in that part of your template, that you break it up into various service categories. So you might have your facials and treatments, you might have your waxing, you might have your tinting, you might have your manis and pedis, you might have makeups, you might have, whatever it is you're offering, massage services, things like that. So each of these categories needs to be looked at individually, so that you can think about what can you offer consistently within each of those categories to make your service better than your competitors. Okay, and remember I said it must be consistent. You don't start off with a bang and then peter out. You've got to keep going. You've got to have your staff trained to make sure that they understand this is now part and parcel of what your salon is offering to your clients. So what can you do that's different between facials and treatments? Are you doing a head massage? Are you doing a hand and arm massage? Are you doing a foot massage? And are your competitors doing all of that? And if so, how can you make yours different? Can you incorporate a little scrub routine? Can you, do something that's not expensive and not time consuming, but something that's a little unique? I've talked to you before about one of my favourite therapists who used to massage my feet and put booties on during my facials. God, I love that woman, and I loved going to that salon and having facials with her. Just that alone was enough to keep me coming back for her facials. I loved it so much. But what I'm saying is, stretch your brain a little, find things that you can offer that are really different. Massages, offer your clients a sensory journey instead of just whacking a bit of, water-based massage oil onto her. How about offering her a selection of 3 essential oils that she can choose from on the day to enhance her experience? What about including a complimentary back scrub before you do particular massages? What about making sure you do the bottom of the feet, or focus on the feet? I've been for so many massages where they bypass my feet. They do down to my ankles and they don't do my feet, and I think, oh, I'd kill to have my feet massaged. So make sure you're thinking outside the square a little. What are the others doing? What can I do that's more than that they're doing? I don't want to be just as good. I want to be so much better. So once again, you've got to get out there, research your best competitors. I mean, you don't want to match yourself to your worst competitors. Goodness me. You want to match yourself to your best competitors and go one better. So there are so many different things that you can do, little things that will help to enhance your client's experience when they're in your salon. But keeping their treatments on time is a real important strategy, so that your clients are in and out when they expect to be. Then we've got to look at the client departure. So what can you do that makes your client departure a little different? Obviously making sure that the client has rebooked in so she can get her next service when she actually wants it, I think is a real service to your clients. And not offering a rebooking is, it's so neglectful. And I think, there are lots of things that you can do on a departure. You can offer a glass of water, chilled water with a slice of lemon in it at the end of a service. Have an area where your client can sit and actually, have a nice drink before they've got to leave the salon. I know one salon that used to offer lollipops to the clients as they walked out the door. Yeah, it was just something individual and something unique and something that other places didn't do. But I think another thing with departure that was always important to me was if I went to a salon, everything was good, they took me in on time, they gave me good service, everything went well. And then as we were walking, out the door, I was basically abandoned, and and they'd be moving on to the next client. And I mean, I know that it's something small, but I wanted that therapist to be with me until I left the salon. I didn't want them talking to other clients. I didn't want them talking to the receptionist. I didn't want them talking to other staff members. I wanted them with me right till the door basically closed behind me. So I think that could give you a unique point of difference. And help to differentiate you from your competitors. And then we've got, what can you do between visits to help your clients? You might want to develop an SMS texting service so that you can let your clients know if you're having a particular promotion on the day. Of course, you want to be having a good salon newsletter, and by newsletter I mean a real newsletter, not just a big sales pitch, where you're giving your clients quality information. And there's just staying in touch. I think good communication with your clients in between their visits to your salon is also something that helps to keep them coming back to you rather than toddling off to Mary Jane's beauty bar down the road. So today, it's been a little bit general, the information, and that's because, I don't know the unique circumstances of your business. But if you sit down with your team, because there's a wealth of information hidden up here in your team members' brains. They get to interact with with employees, with clients that you don't interact with. They are going to come up with some great ideas. Not everything that they come up with is going to be a great idea because it might contravene your kind of branding or your style. For instance, I did this session with a client and her team once. It was an upmarket salon. It was about relaxation, and one of the girls suggested they put in a kids' corner. That's not going to work. So, not everything that they come up with is going to be implemented, and it mightn't even hurt to actually tell them that right up front. Look, I want ideas. I'm not promising that everything that we come up with today is going to be implemented. I have to look at it in terms of how it fits in with our overall business personality. But, I really want some input from you. Tell me what the clients are asking for. Tell me what you think we're missing out on doing. A lot of your team members have worked in other salons where there's been some really probably great strategies implemented that you're not currently doing. So brainstorm, pick their brains, get all the information you can, and look at what you can realistically implement into your business that is going to give you the wow factor, that's going to have your clients going, you know what, I can probably get this treatment for $10 cheaper at such and such a salon, but I have such a great experience when I come to this salon. One of my favorite salons that I go to for a few bits and bobs at the moment, they always offer me a nice cup of tea and a little homemade bicky, and boy, I look forward to that. I really do. And they never ever miss. They always offer it to me no matter what, and 99.9% of the time I say, oh, that'd be lovely, thank you very much. So it's simple stuff, but be consistent. That's probably one of the best pieces of advice I can give you today. If you're going to offer these new little extras, write them into your treatment protocols. Train your staff so that they understand that they're not an optional extra anymore. This is how we're going to do it. This is what this treatment involves from here on in. Do some research, get out there, try other salons, learn from the best, and learn how to avoid the worst. And, your salon can really start to stand out from the crowd. So if you've got any questions, or if you want to run any ideas by me, please leave a comment below this video. I'd be really happy to answer those questions for you. And listen, guys, if you would like to receive my reasonably regular business articles that I send out to my VIP clients, please just give me your email address. You can private message me, or you can leave it in the comments below if you don't mind making it public. And I can add you to my list so that you will receive some really great ideas to help you grow your business. And that's it for today. It's been awesome talking to you. I hope you're enjoying these little videos. This is number 4 today. So I'd love for you to leave a comment to let me know, if you're actually enjoying the videos. I'd hate to think I'm going out of my way doing my makeup and putting my lipstick on for nobody to be watching. So if you are watching, if you are enjoying, just a quick comment below. I would really appreciate that. And thanks again. So you have a great day and you have a great week, and stay profitable. Bye for now.